Join us WrestleMania weekend for the Internet Darlings Live event featuring your favorite wrestling YouTubers. The link is in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in SmackDown Live. Who needs Raw?
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it Raw. Oh, baby, I like it Raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson. Also available wherever fine podcasts are, including Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and of course iTunes, where if you guys hit that subscribe and download button and leave a review and a rating and a ranking and all that kind of bullshit, it jacks us up in the rankings and it makes me feel good on a Monday, Larson.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're also at ProWrestlingTees.com/Going In Raw, where you can get this shirt. I'm wearing my Going In Raw shirt. Larson, what shirt are you wearing today?
Slap nuts.
Yeah, baby. Slap nuts all day long, thanks to that crap hole main event.
We'll get to that in a few minutes. We'll probably in more than a few minutes. What a show that was last night, huh?
Hold on a second. We also got a Patreon, patreon.com/Stephen Larson. And we're going to be at Internet Darlings Live WrestleMania weekend. So if you want to come out and meet us, the link is in the description for that. But yeah, let's talk FASTLANE because I know people are anxious to hear us talk so much shit, which is probably what we're going to end up doing today.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good show.
Oh, and you're sick. That's why you're not here.
Yeah.
People like to know these things. So am I correct in assuming this is explosive diarrhea?
That's fine.
Only the most explosive diarrhea for us here at Going In Raw. Oh, wait a second. I wanted to see something here before I hold on. Pro Wrestling Tees Going In Raw. I uploaded my new shirt. I want to see how fast these guys are.
Is it the Ulysses Memorial shirt?
It's R.I.P. Ulysses, but it's not up yet. What a shame.
Bummer.
Total bummer. Anyways, let's get back in worse news. Let's get back to Fastlane. Okay, so in a nutshell, this was like a bad episode of Raw.
Yeah. When I was writing down notes last night for the show, usually for pay-per-view notes, we can get them all, the notes, in maybe at most 2/3 of a page.
Right.
This one filled up at least an entire page.
What the hell? I know. I'm looking at the notes right now.
It was more like a Raw.
This looks like, and you know what? Like it even would have been a boring Raw for the most part. But some of these, I'm hesitant to go too far into it, like just from the start, because like this is best left to the individual matches.
Yes,
discussing that, but it was disappointing on many fronts, and I'm looking at this and I see one positive, and that's pretty much it.
We were talking a little bit before we started rolling, and I'd said to you, over the last couple months, the WWE has taken a lot of moments that they could build literally entire pay-per-views around.
Yeah.
Doing them kind of in a really unimportant manner.
Yeah. And
squandering really good opportunities. And there was 2 such opportunities last night. Sorry, they really squandered. They could have built whole shows around more or less.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it. At the Rumble, Cena tying Ric Flair's record. Mm-hmm. You could have built a WrestleMania around that story.
I know.
And they did it at the Rumble. Good match. But then Cena dropped the belt to Wyatt 2 weeks later.
Like 2 weeks later, yeah. Yeah. No, I know. And last night wasn't especially. And it's funny because even like in some of those moments you're talking about, even the crowd was like, not like, they were like, well, we shouldn't be seeing that here. Like that shouldn't have happened here. And I hate sort of going by what we think we know and how we think things should play out. Yeah. But in any movie, for example, there is in any good movie, there's a natural crescendo to the way things go. It's kind of like our criticism of the Randy Orton thing.
Yes.
There should be a natural story crescendo for things that we've seen in the past that have been effective in the past. And to dump some of these moments in Fastlane and like this glorified Raw episode. And honestly, for me, it's not even necessarily, although that point is valid, but even taking that point away from it, even taking the time and place and how they're building it away from it, and these dramatic moments that are ill-placed, even taking that away from it, the effectiveness of how they executed these moments, even within the pay-per-view, were crappy.
Yes.
Like, even in how they were done, it was crappy.
It really was.
Because there's some things that fans are going to complain about, and I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm okay with it, but it was executed so poorly.
I know.
Let's take match number 1, which I thought was going to be the sleep. I thought it was going to be the sleeper match of the night, and honestly, it was a fairly pedestrian match. Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah, during our predictions episode, we both said match of the night right here.
We thought it was going to be match of the night.
Yeah.
And it was just... There was no... Sami Zayn can put on a fantastic match in his sleep, and I'm pretty sure Samoa Joe can as well.
Yes.
But this was like they were just going through the motions. Like
It felt like none of the matches really... Maybe a couple. But by and large, none of the matches on the card at FASTLANE seemed like they were creatively booked.
Right, I know, exactly. Like
There's
one
moments
like
here and there,
yeah.
like during the end of the tag title match, where Gallows just kind of runs by the ring and kicks and pushes Enzo's foot off the rope. That was a cool little spot.
Yeah,
there was a couple moments here and there that were like, okay, that's creative.
Yeah,
But by and large, throughout the show, nothing really creative happened.
I know. I mean, there was no, like, Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe, assuming they're not going to fight at WrestleMania, which I think is kind of a decent assumption to make, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought too after watching this match, and it's like a decent Raw match is what we got.
Yeah, I know. It's an okay Raw match.
Yeah.
It's not even like a good Raw match, and this is on what's supposed to be what they're calling a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was nothing. Sammy ended up passing out. Yeah, he ended up, and it's interesting. I got one of our friendos asked, why didn't they do the hand thing where they do the hand, where they raise the hand and then it drops?
They did once.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, usually they do it 3 times, but that's only if the person's going to come to and fight back. If they're not going to do that, they check the arm once and says, no, he's passed out.
Okay, all right. Anyways, I was okay with that, but like there was no. I don't know how long was this match. I didn't even check the time on this
short.
Match. It seemed
really
short, didn't it? It seemed really short.
2 of the longer matches seemed like it was Cesaro and Mahal,
right?
And then Rusev and
Big Show. I know those seem that entire segment, that whole setup and then teardown.
Was 35
like,
minutes.
I swear to God, it felt like an hour, but yeah, it was like 45 minutes. That was a really long time. That was like the Raw black hole filler. Why did we have that in a pay-per-view?
Because the main event lasted 20 seconds.
Which I know exactly. Like as soon as they started this shit with Jinder Mahal and Cesaro. But here's the thing: when did they decide that the main event was going to be a 20-second match? I figured they would have decided that ages ago.
Yeah, I thought that too.
And so you could have had a match of the night candidate with Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn. If you said, both guys, go out there, give us 25 minutes of like an amazing story.
Yeah.
And they could have done something that really killed it.
Yeah.
But instead, we got Rusev Big Show, which even Rusev Big Show, I'm not really that against, because the Big Show, he's on his farewell tour essentially.
Pretty much.
But it's like, build to it.
I know.
Build to it.
I know.
Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn was not like the match that these guys could put on. Like, these guys could put on an amazing match. Like, there could have been so many. Like, Fastlane is a way to develop these stories, to sort of solidify these stories going into WrestleMania in a very dramatic way. And none of that happened. This was like milling about Raw.
Yeah.
So
in
after
some instances, like the finishes were, undermine potentially really good stories going into WrestleMania.
Yeah, I know exactly. So we had Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn ended up passing out because Samoa Joe had him in a what does he call that move?
The Coquina Clutch.
Yeah, there you go.
The thing about the finish to that match is it was pretty certain who the victor was.
Yeah.
There was no ambiguity in terms of who won that match whatsoever. So I don't know how they can justify another match at WrestleMania.
And there was no like gimmick to this match.
No.
There was no you're right. There's no justification for continuing this. Samoa Joe dominated Sami Zayn. Sammy, and the funny thing is, it's not even like they can justify it by having Samoa Joe sort of like when Kevin Owens completely dominated Sami Zayn, kind of took him off base, took him out of nowhere and just murdered him. And then it's like, okay, well, hold on a second. I got off on the wrong footing or whatever the justification was there that they used. Oh, this is my best friend, whatever. This was kind of a back and forth match. Like they both gave each other. Both guys got their offense in.
Yeah.
It's just Samoa Joe won decisively at the end. So like you said, there's no reason for this to keep going.
Doesn't seem like it.
And yet Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn really don't have opponents unless they're going to put Sami Zayn in the fucking Battle Royal, which, God, what a waste of his talents.
I know.
Or Samoa Joe in the Battle Royal, for that matter. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me.
I know.
Then we had a Bayley interview backstage, which was interrupted by Nia Jax it just should not let her talk. But she essentially said, I'm coming after that belt.
Yeah.
Then we had Enzo and Cass versus the Club. The highlight of this was Carl Anderson botching it too sweet.
Oh, I know.
He threw the wrong fingers up. It was great. But anyways, okay, so this match, again, it had that raw, like sort of shenanigans at the end.
Yeah.
Not a clear finish. Even in this match, you can justify Enzo and Cass moving on and facing the
Enzo
Club
had his
at
foot on the
Mania.
rope until Gallows knocked it off before the
Right.
ref could see
But-
it. Yeah.
But
we knew going into this that the Club was going to win and it wasn't going to be clean.
there could have been a much more dramatic way. What if they did this? The story of every Enzo and Cass match, which is why they're probably not going to be a tag team for very much longer. I could be wrong about that. But their story is Enzo's in, he gets the crap beat out of him, he gets the hot tag on Cass.
Yeah.
That's their story. That's what they play every single time. What if this is the one time where he doesn't get a hot tag on Cass? What if they just beat the crap out of Enzo, prove that they're a better tag team by permanently cutting off by permanently keeping him in the corner, permanently cutting off half the ring, and then that creates some drama between Enzo and Cass, and they have to recoup before WrestleMania because they get their rematch. Like, there's a story you can go with
But they're not going to do that, man.
Instead of this crap where it's a Raw finish, not a pay-per-view finish. Give me something to the story that I'm going to care about going to WrestleMania.
I mean, I knew it was going to be a finish kind of like that.
Yeah.
I thought the finish was at least remotely somewhat clever in having Gallows come by and take his foot off the rope, because if I'd seen that, and it hasn't been in a while, that's kind of clever. It's better than the ref just not seeing it.
I'm not one to cry somebody's getting buried very often. I think that getting buried is a long process that takes a while. And the Club, I still don't think, okay, the Shining Stars, they're buried. You know what I mean? That's a burial right there. I'm not sure the Club is getting buried, but man, they're not being booked the way they really should be.
No, not at all.
So
they don't feel like a dominant force.
They don't, and that's what they should be. That's what they should be. Like, everything about them screams like these are a couple of guys you don't fuck with.
Yep.
Not shady shenanigan guys who get beat
I know.
By Roman Reigns in one sitting.
I know. 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. Then we had a Foley Stephanie backstage segment where Stephanie was on speakerphone and Foley was telling her that there was a couple again.
I have a huge problem with this segment. A huge problem.
Go ahead.
Here's my problem. Why did Foley say that Samoa Joe would not be allowed at ringside for the main event? We have no clue that Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens are aligned in any way.
I know. What the hell is that?
So why did he say that?
Why would he be like, well, okay, I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, wait a second. They haven't officially announced any faction. They haven't aligned. But besides one shot of Triple H talking to Kevin Owens in the back, who knows what that could be? That could have been an HR issue.
Yeah. I mean, other than the fact that they both wear suits when they're not wrestling, that's the only thing they have in common right now.
Yeah, I have no idea. That didn't make a lick
It made zero sense.
of sense. Why would he be talking about that? It's like WWE Creative is just skipping giant chunks of storyline.
Yeah. I mean, did they reveal the faction on Main Event or Superstars or something? We just missed it?
In the pre-show.
Maybe.
They had, what's his name? Pete Rosenberg do it.
And then, like, the end of that segment where the cord of the phone just pulled out of the base. Like, that doesn't hang up the phone, I don't think.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't see that part.
Okay, so he's talking to her. She says, she says, Mick, do you have me on speakerphone?
Yeah.
And he says, no. And so he, takes it off speaker and uses the handset.
Yeah.
And while he's talking to her, he pulls on the handset, I guess. And so the cord that connects the handset to the base of the phone pulls out of the base.
Oh, okay.
And then he's got a sly smile on his face, like saying, ooh, well, too bad that happened. But I'm thinking that shouldn't hang up the phone.
Okay, but in his defense, it's been a long time since anybody's actually used those type of phones.
Well, it wasn't a rotary phone.
Oh man!
See, if nothing else, Stephanie is there, like talking to nobody. At a certain point, she would get the hint that something happened, hang up, call again, and then if Mick were to answer it, he'd have to answer it with speakerphone.
My thing is, why isn't she just talking to him on his cell phone?
I don't know.
Who uses conference phones back in a temporary office? Like everybody uses cell phones. Even when Goldberg's walking backstage, you see people milling about on their cell phones.
I know.
Why wouldn't they be talking on cell phone? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
I mean, he could still have speakerphone on his cell phone.
Yeah, I know.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, I do too.
I use it more often than not. Then we had Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. This actually wasn't a terrible match.
No, it wasn't.
There was some decent storytelling here.
Yeah.
Sasha's not going to win at Mania, so I guess she needed to pick up this win against Nia Jax?
I guess so. I don't know. It just felt like they had done a pretty good job of building Nia up to be virtually unbeatable.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me ask you something. I thought about something at the finish of this.
What?
Was Sasha supposed to grab the ropes?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that, but maybe.
So she got the win. For anybody who didn't bother to watch FASTLANE and watching this, she got the win via a roll up bridge type thing.
Yeah.
But I swear, like was it her hand or I think her hand touched the rope. It looked like it was reaching for the rope. And given where she rolled her up and rolled into that bridge, and given that her hand touched the rope, it wouldn't surprise me if they gave her a little bit of that Eddie Guerrero cheat to win thing that she so often references. Yeah. If she grabbed the rope, it wouldn't surprise me. I wonder if she botched that. I wonder if that was a mess up.
Could be. That would make a lot more sense.
I really think that should have been the case because Nia Jax was murdering her the whole time, and then Sasha's able to get some pretty clever submission holds in. Yeah. Sort of climbing the beast, if you will. And then it ended with her sort of doing
the roll-up bridge, which, I mean, it seemed like Nia just could have easily kicked out of that.
Yeah, I know. It was all very slow. I mean, Nia Jax isn't going to be rolling into positions very fast in the first place. But
I'm just thinking from Nia is portrayed as the most powerful wrestler in the women's division.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed like that she could have just kicked out of that. Just, like straightening her legs, essentially,
Yeah, which is why...
It would have made more sense if Sasha had grabbed the ropes. And
I think if you look at it, like her hand definitely reaches for it and misses it. And I'm almost positive that was just a botch spot.
I'll have to take a look.
Yeah. So I don't know, whatever. It was Sasha winning over Nia Jax. Then we had, so in the pre-show, we had this set up where Rusev and Mahal were both bitching backstage at each other. Mm-hmm. So Mick Foley jokingly says, how about a best of 7 series between you guys? And they both say no. And he says, yeah, I was joking. And then he says, well, each of you wants to prove who you are or whatever. You're going to take on singles competition. You're both going to go down to the ring during the show tonight, and you're going to wait for your competition to arrive. And I'm thinking to myself, that sounds horrible. Like when he said you both are going to go down the ring and you're going to wait for your competition to arrive.
Well, and also he said something along the lines of, and you two decide who faces who.
Yeah, you guys figure it out for yourselves. I was like, that sounds horrible. But Jinder Mahal does look jacked.
Yeah, he does.
Man, he's like really ramping up them vein attributes. He's like fucking jacked.
Yeah, he is.
I hope they keep on rolling with that guy, just not in this particular scenario. I don't want to see him come out so him and Rusev both come out.
They brawl in the ring for a while.
They brawl in the ring. Rusev's got that. What do you think of Rusev's haircut?
It's fine.
Yeah, it makes him look like a handsome Rusev.
Yeah.
No, I like it. It's good.
And then Mahal throws Rusev into the ring steps or the corner or something. And then out comes Mahal's opponent,
King
Cesaro.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
That dude was sporting Golden Powers outfits, man. He's watching the show. Telling you. Maybe Cesaro's low-level WWE writer. So anyways, Cesaro comes out, rips off his clothes, gets into the ring, and takes on Mahal. Ends up winning, I'm assuming, right? Yeah.
Thanks to a distraction from Rusev.
Yeah.
Which I don't really feel like Cesaro should need that.
I know. I don't feel that either. And then Rusev's milling about in the ring. And then, well,
first, Rusev and Mahal fight more.
Oh, yeah.
Rusev kicks Mahal out of the ring, comes back in. Then we hear, well.
Big Show comes down. He lumbers down.
Yeah.
And Rusev gives him 3 Machka kicks.
Yeah.
During the course of their match, and still can't put the Big Show down. Big Show wins with was it like 2 choke slams and
3
then
choke slams and then the knockout punch.
So dominating show from the Big Show.
Yeah.
Against Rusev, who had already been beat up, so nobody really looks strong here. And I swear to God, dude, it felt like a fucking hour from start to finish, and nobody.
It was. I think it was about a 35-minute segment in full.
I think you're right. I think it was exceedingly long. It was very long, and it really did no favors for anybody.
No.
At all. So then we had the match of the night, in my opinion, Neville versus Gallagher.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Cruiserweight division match. They let these guys really go at it. It was actually fairly brutal. Gallagher's pasty white skin had all sorts of bruises and marks by the end of it.
Yeah, his weird kind of suicide dive thing was neat.
Yeah, that was cool. The top rope headbutt was cool.
Yeah.
Lots of really, really cool maneuvers. And then Neville ended up winning with his, what do they call it? The Red Arrow?
Red Arrow.
Yeah, he ended up winning with that. And he got some fucking air with that thing, dude. He got so much air with that. It was great. Because Gallagher was...
Sorry, go ahead.
Gallagher was kind of far out there.
Yeah, I really like how the commentators were saying that Neville needed to finally do the Red Arrow again after not doing it for months to put Gallagher away. So they sold the Red Arrow, but also sold Gallagher's performance.
Yeah, this was really good. Like it's funny because everybody was saying that. Everybody's on Twitter. Oh my God, this is really good. Like everybody was stunned. It's like, yeah, you know what? These guys can actually wrestle really good.
Yeah,
it's just they didn't let them do it until FASTLANE.
I know.
So that was actually really surprising. Hats off to the gentleman from the UK.
Yes.
Then we had a fairly decent Paul Heyman interview where he says that no matter what happens tonight, Goldberg wins. Lesnar wins.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
At what point during the night were you 100% certain that Kevin Owens was going to lose the belt to Goldberg?
Oh, easy. When Jinder Mahal and Rusev came out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too.
Oh, so yeah, that was like, because people were like, what the hell? They never announced this. And no, I just thought, okay, I think I tweeted out. I said, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, a couple of filler matches. And then when I realized how long they took, I was like, yeah, no, this is going to be exactly what it was. Spear, jackhammer, Goldberg wins.
Yep.
So yeah, Paul Heyman was saying, no matter what happens, my client wins. Interesting take on things from Paul Heyman.
Yes.
He says if he wins, if Kevin Owens wins, he will have found a weakness that my client will then have to exploit at WrestleMania. So that's going to be interesting. I mean, it's going to be an interesting match at Mania. Because Goldberg, I mean, I don't know. Does he have some sort of match between now and Mania? Like
nope. No, there's no other pay-per-views between now and Mania.
What are they gonna do?
I don't know.
He just understands that he's gonna take one beating in that contract of his, like one actual match. How long do you think that WrestleMania match is gonna last?
10 minutes.
You think it's gonna be the main event?
I don't know. They've been hammering the point home that Orton's match is going to be the main event.
I could
ever
see
since
them,
before Rumble.
I could see them not wanting to go out on what potentially could be a massively stinker of a big stinker
and
of
also,
a match.
I'm starting to think they have something huge planned for that Orton match. Whether it just be it in terms of spectacle or storyline or something. Because remember when we went to No Mercy and we were kind of scratching our heads as to why thank you, Wyatt and Orton was main eventing when you had, the Dolph Miz match that was a retirement match.
Oh yeah.
And it was because they wanted to make a huge splash with Luke Harper's return.
Yeah.
At the end of that match, it's got to be something. Some huge reveal, something like Sister Abigail finally
the physical
arrives,
manifestation
something like that. Yeah, something
crazy
huge
Mary
has to happen
Dobson.
that justifies that going on last.
Sister Asuka. What if Asuka's Sister Abigail? That'd be rad.
That would be cool.
That'd be dope. Let's see here. Where was I? Yeah, Paul Heyman interview. Then New Day promo when the New Day came out. I like the whoever they got to illustrate their little ice cream designs.
Yeah.
Did a really slam bang job. That looks like sort of like underground comic style.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
I really enjoyed Big E's performance during this segment.
Oh, I know. He's great, dude. He's fantastic.
That was so.
These guys are so
funny.
They're so good. They're so flipping good. I'm glad they have ice cream, and I kind of like that they're not in a match at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're perfect for hosts. This is a good job. I like this. I mean, are we gonna get some ice cream at Mania?
Sure. I really don't eat ice cream anymore,
Some
but I
New
guess
Day pops.
I'll make an exception for WrestleMania.
It's probably gonna taste like crap. Their cereal wasn't very good.
It was just really, really, really sweet.
Yeah, it was. Let's see here. Then we had, oh God,
What?
dude. So, when's the last time you saw Kevin Nash versus Mabel?
A long time.
That match reminded me of this: Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. This was slow, boring, ugly, not good.
Those shoes Reigns were sporting were pretty awesome, though. Those were cool.
He took my advice. He got some lunar glides.
They're Nike boots. Someone posted an image of them on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I hated them. Like it's so distracting to see like white. What did he call those undersoles?
Outsoles.
Outsoles. There you go.
But here's
It's
the thing,
so
though. He
distracting.
seemed like he was moving quicker.
Really? That
Seemed
match
like
looked
to
like it
me.
was in slow motion.
No, and I'm not saying the pace of the match. I'm saying Reigns individually seemed like he had a little extra spring in his step. 'Cause he seemed like he was moving more smoothly, quicker, and he looked more comfortable.
Give him a new gimmick. Give him a basketball player gimmick.
I think they should just
the
replace
basketball machine.
Just replace the pants he has now with sweatpants.
How tall's Roman?
They say 6'5".
You think he can dunk?
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man.
I mean, he jumps over the ropes out of the ring.
Oh,
That's impressive for a guy of his size.
That's a good point. That's
I'm
a good
sure
point.
he can dunk.
He could probably dunk. Give him a basketball gimmick. Fundamental basketballs with Roman Reigns.
A bunch of vignettes of him doing basketball tutorials.
Chest pass.
There you go.
Bounce pass.
Have Kevin Love on it, and they can teach people how to throw court length chest passes.
That's perfect. There you go. Exactly.
How to throw an outlet pass.
Oh man.
But anyways, the finish to this
is
match
crap.
was another moment they could have built a whole show around, which is Braun Strowman finally losing.
Yeah, I know.
And it
In
ended
your
up being in a
house,
match
Braun
that was
loses.
largely unimportant.
Yeah, and no Undertaker. What's up with that?
No.
Yeah. What do the betting odds have here? Strowman, going
Strowman
over?
was favored pretty heavily.
Strowman was Charlotte favored.
Yeah.
Betting odds got it wrong this time. You think they're leaking out misinformation?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Or maybe Vince saw the betting odds Saturday and said, "Oh well, I'm not going to let these all come true."
Yeah, he booked right at Gorilla. He tells people what's going to happen, just to fuck with the betting odds. Yeah, dude, I was unimpressed with this match. Here's my thing. Tell me, why is it Braun Strowman and the Big Show had a match that was actually really compelling,
I know.
and these two guys can't? Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns can't have that match. Like,
I don't know. I feel like the effort was there.
I don't. I feel like both these guys had no idea what to do with each other.
Well, that's more of a planning situation as opposed to effort. I mean, I feel like in the ring they worked, they tried. There was a couple, like the table spot was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
But then Roman just gets right back up from it once he gets rolled in the ring
I know, exactly.
and spears Strowman.
This is a terrible match, man. This match had Kevin Nash circa 2012 written all over it. This is bad, man. This is not
I'm
a
not
good
saying
match.
it was good.
Terrible match. I'm not even talking about the fact that they book Roman Reigns to win clean over Braun Strowman. I'm actually even okay with that. I'm even okay with that happening at FASTLANE. If it was a good fucking match.
Yeah, it wasn't a good match.
If it was a match where Strowman would dominate Reigns and Reigns would find a way to come back and it would blah 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 happen again, and if it built to a good crescendo, I'm totally cool with a clean finish. I don't even like protecting wrestlers. You should be able to get a pin on anybody on any given day.
Oh,
if
I
the
agree.
match is good, it's believable.
Yeah.
It's always believable if the match is good. This was not a good match, and it just ended with a thud and Braun Strowman getting pinned clean by Roman Reigns' crappy finish. His finishers are all crap. Give him an impressive finish.
I know.
I'm not just shitting on Roman Reigns. The guy can put on a good match. It's obvious he needs the right opponent.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is not a good match.
It wasn't that great, no.
I was so fucking bored by it. Then we had Charlotte versus Bayley. 90% of that was actually a pretty good match.
I thought it was a really good match. The crowd was not into it at all.
Yeah, the crowd did not know why they were there.
The crowd was so quiet during this match.
They thought,
well, I mean, it seemed after the two filler matches, it seemed like it took the energy out of the crowd.
It did. It took the energy out of me. And I had the ability to walk around and get some nachos and shit if I wanted to.
Well, so did they in the audience.
That's true. Nobody's keeping him there at gunpoint. But dude, I would have been done with it too. Like if they pull that shit at WrestleMania, I'd be upset.
I would
I'd be
too.
chanting CM
if they
Punk
pull it
everybody.
if they pull it at Payback when we're there, I'll be upset.
Yeah, it was not good. Well, Finn Balor's going to be there. Shinsuke Nakamura's probably going to be there.
Maybe.
So I'll be happy. No Finn Balor, no Undertaker. Charlotte versus Bayley was decent, but then that finish was crap. Why did Sasha come out?
I know. I don't know.
Why is it all of a sudden cool?
Part of me was wondering if they're gonna shelf the Fatal 4-Way idea for Mania, and that's why they had Sasha pick up the win, and then Bayley wins, and so they're just gonna do Bayley Sasha at WrestleMania.
I was expecting at that finish for Sasha to turn on Bayley there.
Yeah,
I was expecting that at that point. But dude, we're less than 4 weeks out.
I know. Right now, I'm expecting if regardless if it's the 4-way match or Sasha Bayley, Bayley's going to pin Sasha, and following that, that's when Sasha's really going to turn heel. They're just going to tease and tease and tease and tease and tease.
Yeah. Dude, I'll say this, though. I like that I know you could have built the streak as the storyline, but I don't know. I kind of like the streak being done with. I hated that.
No, I don't mind that either, but they could have just... I mean, it was a part of the story, kind of. It was a secondary part of the story they were telling here. Pretty much just in the sense that the commentators would bring it up. But if Charlotte leading up to this match said, I'm not gonna, my pay-per-view streak isn't gonna end to, as she calls Bayley, a fan.
Yeah.
Just build it up that way. Just have it be a part of the match. I don't mind it ending at Fastlane as long as you make it important.
I know. And that finish was so flat because Bayley, the point is valid. The only time Bayley really needed Sasha should have been when Dana Brooke got involved.
Yeah.
But in this case, it was just Sasha came in and interfered. And it's that's a tainted victory. That's not a legit victory.
It is.
You're supposed to be a role model, Bayley.
So I wonder maybe tonight they'll have a rematch on Raw. Maybe Charlotte will pick up the win.
Oh, that could be. That'd be an interesting turnabout. And they can start a Raw streak with Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. But really, if I were Charlotte before Fastlane, I just would never defend the belt on Raw. Never.
Oh, I know. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they're probably still going to do the Fatal 4-Way. And so I guess this eliminates some of the unpredictable nature of it. I don't know. I don't like streaks anyways. Get rid of streaks. Except Asuka's streak. I want her to beat Goldberg's streak.
Yeah.
I want her to beat Bruno's streak.
You want to go 8 years without losing?
Yeah, but that means she'd be in 8 years in NXT. Well, I guess no. She could just they could just vacate the title.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. So yeah, Bayley ended up going over thanks to some help from Sasha Banks. Which bizarre they didn't DQ Bayley.
I know.
Sounds weird.
Well, the ref didn't see it. That's why, I guess.
Then we came to our main event. We had Kevin Owens. Yeah, hey, you know what? At least they gave him the champion's entrance.
Oh, yeah.
At least they did that.
That's true.
Kevin Owens came out, or Goldberg came out. Kevin Owens came out. Goldberg still reminds me of Old Man Turbo, rest in peace, my old dog, because he's got that gray beard.
Yep.
Looks like $1 million. I felt like a big fat slob when I see Goldberg at 50.
Oh, he looks
old.
great.
He looks amazing. And it went down the way we all kind of figured it would go down. Like, you know, I know we were both kind of on the fence. Would the new evolution stand tall at the end of FASTLANE? No, didn't happen. Goldberg ended up going over. Like, we kind of figured it would.
Yeah, I kind of knew this is how it was going to happen. It just was the most predictable, uninspired, uninteresting way they could have done it.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Owens comes down. He mills about, essentially.
See, I was expecting him to do that kind of stuff, but I was expecting him to do that after the bell rang.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I know.
Instead
I figured
now,
the bell would ring and he would do some, you know, some of the shit like Yano does, you know, like he sort of gets outside of the rings, like he's in the rings, but then he gets his torso out of the rings and says, "Get back."
Yeah.
He plays those kind of shenanigans. Instead, he just sort of left the ring and milled about. I thought there were other ways that he could have extended the match.
Yeah.
Instead, the bell rang. Jericho showed up at the top of the ramp.
Another thing I'm getting real tired of.
I am so fucking sick of distractions. I am so fucking tired of them. They don't make a lick of goddamn sense, man. They don't make a lick of sense. You're in a match against Bill Goldberg, somebody who you were 14 years old when Bill Goldberg beat Hogan for the title. I learned that on Twitter last night. This is fucking Bill Goldberg. I don't care if Jesus Christ himself shows up at the ramp.
Yeah.
You don't take your eyes off fucking Bill Goldberg.
No.
This is what you trained for. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
You
It's
should
so
be in the ring
frustrating.
training for this shit.
I mean, sort of like when Seth Rollins was in that match against Sami Zayn for that spot in the Rumble.
Yeah.
And Triple H's music hits.
Yeah, you should
Literally,
train for
all that Rollins has to do is lay on Zayn, get the pin, just kind of look around the ring while the ref counts 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Triple H isn't getting to that ring in time to break up that pinfall.
Exactly. Or if you hear train so that if you hear somebody's music hit, you immediately run to the ropes and get outside the ring.
Here's another thing, too. So Owens tells the ref to call for the bell, and the ref takes his time and only does it during Jericho's music. He doesn't do it right away.
Yeah.
So if you're the ref and you're about to call for the bell and someone else's music comes on,
Yeah.
do you just ignore that?
Yeah, I know.
Something that could play a pivotal role in the match itself?
I know.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make a lick of sense. I don't know who booked this shit, man, but it was not good. Like, from top to bottom, this is not good, except for Neville Gallagher, where they said, go out and do what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not good. It was
not a good show.
It was not a
It
good
was
show.
really not a good show.
You know what sucks too, dude, is that so your expectations are a little bit elevated because it's a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like, there's
But also going into the show, there were the ingredients there potentially to do some interesting stuff.
And if they had just played a lot of this stuff out on Raw,
Yeah.
it would have made Raw so much cooler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, have Goldberg win the Universal title on Raw. That'd be cool, you know?
Yeah.
And book some more shit to go into it. Didn't we say this was going to be the one that was overbooked to hell?
Yeah.
This is not overbooked to hell.
No. It was the most obvious, uninspired booking.
This is terrible, man.
It was bad. Just bad, bad, bad.
Yeah.
I'm really upset about it, Steve.
I can tell. I know. You were so upset you got sick and couldn't make it today.
Yeah. Like, this pay-per-view gave me explosive diarrhea.
Give you it's the technical term is the most explosive diarrhea.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that was the clinical diagnosis.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're not a doctor like I am.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So
what do you think is going to happen on Raw tonight? Following this hot garbage pay-per-view.
Well, according to WWE.com, Bill Goldberg's going to say something. Is Lesnar scheduled to be there tonight?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I hope that we see some movement on this new Evolution faction.
I know. Why was there none, apart from Foley saying Joe's barred from ringside, even though he's got no official alliance with Kevin Owens?
Stephanie should have been like, okay, then bar.
She should have said, what are you talking about? I've never seen Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens in the same room.
I know. Like, really? Do they go back to like PWG?
It's like, whoa, hold on there, Mick. Spoiler alert.
You're getting ahead of yourself in the script, Mick. Stop reading ahead. You're reading ahead, Mick. Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
No.
He said Samoa Joe. What? Why does it matter?
But why?
Oh man! And then we forget. We didn't even mention that like he encountered Samoa Joe backstage
Oh, yeah.
and told him the same thing: stay away from the ringside. Why didn't Joe say, "Why would I go? What? Why would I go?
I know.
Why would I do that? What are you talking about?"
I know. Ugh.
He's like, Mick, I know you took a lot of unprotected chair shots, but I had no plans on going out there. I was going to get some popcorn.
Yeah.
I was
going
going
to
to
go after my match, take a shower, put some comfy clothes on.
Yeah, I was going to get some gray sweatpants on.
Yeah.
Get some popcorn.
Get an iced tea and some popcorn.
I like that Samoa Joe's snack is like halfway between you and me. Like there's the iced tea, which I don't usually drink, but then there's popcorn, which you don't.
Well,
usually eat.
I just didn't think Samoa Joe would drink soda.
Oh, really? I think he probably does.
Oh, I don't know.
Just with popcorn, you can't have iced tea with popcorn. That sounds gross.
Iced tea goes with anything.
No, not
Yeah.
popcorn. You need.
Oh, yeah.
You need. Here's the thing with soda. You need the soda to burn away the popcorn kernels out of your mouth. Iced tea doesn't burn anything. Iced tea just tastes like tasty water.
That's a reason not to drink soda. The fact that it burns things out of your mouth.
Oh, I agree.
Like
It's
acid.
horrible for you. I'm not. There's a million reasons not to drink soda. I'm just saying it tastes so good with popcorn.
You know what? If like I don't drink soda anymore.
Yeah.
And so went to a movie with my wife,
Yeah.
and she got a soda or something, and I had a sip of it, and it was like the most disgusting thing ever.
Oh,
Like
it's
if
not
you
the most
stop
disgusting
drinking soda
ever.
for a period of time and have it again, it's repulsive.
That's not true. Because I
is.
stopped drinking soda for a long period of time and I came back to it. I don't drink it every day, but if I'm having some popcorn, it's I enjoy it. It's
All
like
right.
tequila. I don't drink it every day, but when I do, it's like, oh man, I miss this. I miss the burn.
Okay.
It goes down. You can feel it go down. You're like, there it is. There it is.
It's warmth for the soul when it goes down.
It is. It's changing me.
It is.
Yeah. Anyways, crap pay-per-view.
All right. Any other thoughts on this crap pay-per-view, Steve?
What's that?
Any other thoughts on this crap pay-per-view?
No. I just wanted to be done. I want to be out of my memory.
Yeah.
I wish I could quantum leap so that my memory would become Swiss cheese and I would lose it. Remember that happened to Sam Beckett when he quantum leaped?
Mm-hmm.
He would lose, his memory would get all fucked up.
Yeah.
That's what I'd want to have happen to me.
But just for that show, right?
And then I'd say, "Oh boy," and then I'd be like in the body of like a nun, like a wisecracking nun who has to save a young boy from a life of crime. But I'd fail miserably. Then I'd be stuck in the body of a nun. Whatever. I never found out what happened if Sam Beckett fucked up. Would he still leap? Would God or Faith or whoever was leaping around, would they be like, can't get them all, I guess. Leap this guy out of here. He can't be a nun the rest of his life. Let's try again with somebody else.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know either. You're more familiar with that show than I am. I've watched a few episodes, but
I think Brett.
I think
Hundar was a big
encyclopedic knowledge that you do of it.
I think Brett Hundar. I think he was a big mark for Quantum Leap.
Oh,
I remember
okay.
I saw some tweet where him and Joel, I think, had been talking about Quantum Leap, and they were saying how crappy the Evil Leaper storyline was, and I was like, "Fuck you guys! I love that storyline."
Yeah, you like that one a lot.
I did. It was.
You
probably
guys should
horrible.
start a Quantum Leap podcast.
Oh, that'd be great. It'd be called Oh Boy.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, I got to get out of here. I got to go pick up my niece from the dentist.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for calling in, even though you have the most explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, apparently I do.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.